Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. Today I'll be working on my second tutorial and I'll show you how to make this lovely Moroccan lantern earrings. Now yesterday I posted my first tutorial and I asked for feedback, and I was so surprised with how many people were so nice letting me know their opinions on what I could improve on, and I really appreciate your feedback, guys. So there were three main points that people mentioned over and over: that the sound was very low, so I'm gonna increase the volume in this video by 100%, so it should be twice louder now. The other thing people mentioned was that I have viewers in States. Well, I'm in UK and I use metric system, so I was saying centimeters, millimeters and all that, and the people suggested I also convert them to inches. So whenever I say something you will need in centimeters, I will also say that in inches from now on. I will try not to forget that. And then the last point was the sound. Again, it was the noise that this table makes when I lift and put down my tools. So I can't really do anything right now, but I already ordered the mat, so probably from the next video on the noise will be less from the table. So to start, I'm gonna tell you what ingredients you will need and what tools do you need. Because of the beads being so big, so long, I don't have the required length of a head pin. So for that, I'm gonna make my own head pins using a wire, which will be like this. So you will need 15 centimeters or 6 inches of wire for each head pin. You will need your big beads. Now you might think they're really heavy, but this one's a resin, so they are really light. So if it was a natural stone or glass, that would be difficult to make them into earrings. And then you will need your bead caps. I need 2 for each earring, so I have 4 of them. These are just 8mm bronze bead caps. And then you need your earring hooks. I just have these ones. And then from tools, you will need your round nose pliers. My round nose pliers also have the cutters, so if yours don't have them, you will also need your cutting pliers. Then you will need your chain nose pliers and nylon jaw pliers. Well, this nylon jaw pliers is not mandatory, but if you have one, I will show you how to use them when you're making your own head pins. So that's all you need, and let's get back to work. Okay, so to start with, we have to make the head pins. Now, I already made the head pins because this wire is 26 gauge wire, and it's really hard to show how to make it in the video. So I already made it. I cut 15 centimeters or 6 inches of wire and made the head of the pin and made another one. So to make this, I'm gonna show you on a 22 gauge wire and pink. It should be easier to show. So since I already made my head pins, I'm just gonna cut any length here I'm comfortable working with, so not to waste it. So you take your cutting pliers, cut the 15 centimeters, and then the very edge of your pliers and the very edge of the wire, you make a tiny loop. Now I made 1 round, you will need 2. So I'm gonna continue until I get 2 full loops. See here, I have 2 loops. Now from here, I'm gonna make a tiny further round. So as you can see here, the beginning of the wire, the edge of the wire is slightly over the end of the wire here. So I'm gonna put my pliers through again here at the very edge of this wire and bend it up. So you have this. And then you take the other end of the wire, take it through, and then you can use your hands to pull it up, or sometimes I just use my chain nose pliers, hold this edge and pull it all the way through. Now it was very easy to make it in the 26 gauge because 26 gauge is so much more easier to bend. So now, as you can see, we have our head pin, but it's a little bit twisted. You can just use your chain nose pliers and just straighten it up a bit. I'm just trying to straighten it up a bit. So that's where we have our head of the pin. Now, where you will need your nylon gel pliers. See, while I was making all these manipulations, my wire got all twisted. So nylon gel pliers, you just take it from the very end and slide it as many times as you want. Well, and I have a perfect head pin. It's very cute. I really like it. So I showed you how to make your wire wrapped head pins, and now we're gonna go ahead and do the earrings. Now I already have my required length of head pins here. I'm gonna take it. So we're gonna start with the bead caps. I'm gonna take one through. I'm just gonna remove my tools here. Take one of the beads. Well, which one I want at the bottom? I think this side is, I want the bottom. And then take the second bead cap. Now we're gonna need the round nose pliers. Now I'm gonna leave a bit of distance here, so I know when I wire wrap, my wrapping, like, I'm gonna show you here. Here, see the loop I made? I left a bit of distance here so I could wire wrap that place. So I'm gonna make sure it's the pin is all the way through. I'm gonna leave a bit of distance here, so you can make it longer, you can make it shorter depending on how you want your wire wrap to look. And I'm gonna make my loop. See how much I left? I'm gonna make my loop. Take it. That's how it looks. Then continue my loop further. Now, that's how it looks. Now you can continue, you can do wire wrapping, like, you know, you always put your round nose plier through the loop we made and just continue wrapping until your wire is finished. But what I'm comfortable with, instead of taking your round nose pliers over and over again, I just take my chain nose pliers, hold the loop and wrap. You just continue wrapping until you finish your wire. Now you don't have to make it really neat, because, you know, the beauty of wire wrapping, sometimes the messier it is, the more nicer it looks. But unless you want it to look really neat, I'm not really worried about where my wire is ending up. See, it's a bit messy, which I like. So I'm just gonna continue wrapping. It's almost there. And the last tiny bead. I'm just gonna take my chain nose pliers to help me finish that last bead. Then I can just and see, I have a tiny bead sticking out. I don't want to hurt myself with that sticky bead. And I'm just gonna take my chain nose pliers and bend it inwards. So one of the earrings is ready. All I have to do now, see, while you're wrapping, you might get it, you know, bend it all different ways. So you just use your pliers and just straighten it up. Mine looks pretty neat. So, and then I take my earring hook, open it, take the loop through, and close it. And we have one of the earrings ready. It's very cute. So now I'm going to show you with the second one again. Take your head pin, one of the bead caps, the beads. Now I have them in different shapes, so I want to make sure which side I want it down. I think this side's better. That add a bead cap. And I'm gonna take my round nose pliers and try to leave same distance I did in my previous earring. So I'm just gonna twist it, take it around the loop here, and then continue the loop here. Now I'm just gonna wrap it around the base of the loop until the wire is finished. So I'm just gonna take my chain nose pliers and continue wrapping. Now, in the beginning I said you will need 15 centimeters or 6 inches of wire. Well, I told you because that's what the length I used. But in wire wrapping, like when I finished, this is how my loop in the end looks. You can take longer length of wire if you want and just continue wrapping and take it maybe a bit on the take a bit of the bead cap as well. So you know, it's just really up to you. Now I'm giving you the measurements of the earring I'm making, so if you want to continue, if you want to do exactly the one I made, then it's fine. But if you want to be a bit more artistic and have a bit more wire on it, you can take a longer length of wire. And also depending on the gauge of wire you're using, the end result will be bigger or smaller. Now I'm using 26 gauge wire, so that's how it looks. But if you use a bigger gauge like 24, 26, your end result will be a bit different. So that's the second one ready. I'm just gonna take my earring hook, open it, take the loop through, and close it. And we have the lovely Moroccan lantern earrings. Well, that's the end of the tutorial. I hope you guys really enjoyed it. I hope I taught you something new in this one. So we made our own wire wrapped head pins and the Moroccan lantern earrings. So I hope you guys give you a thumbs up. I hope you leave your comments, your questions in the comments section as well. And make sure you subscribe to see the next tutorial. Bye bye.